So today I'm going to change the alternator of my 407 V6. So this the alternator started acting up. I think it has been acting up for a while because I've always known that the charge has not always been up to 14 volts with the engine running. I think it has already been less than 14, about 13 point something. But recently I observed sometimes I will drive, park, come back to start the car and it refuse to start, the battery has drained. So I now did my diagnosis and found out the issue was the alternator. Even though it was charging, but it doesn't charge well with the AC since I'm always on AC. So I'm going to change the alternator, even though it's working, but not good enough. So I've gotten the alternator I will use. So this is it, one I was swapping. This is a used one, and just take a look at this alternator is for Peugeot 407 V6 with ES9A engine. You can see the part number here. That is value 9645865180. 9645865180. So that's the part number for alternator mounted on Peugeot 407 V6. Then this CL15, the CL15 stands for 150 amps. So be aware, if you see anyone with less than 150 amps, that has less than 6, like CL12, even though you may find it on that engine, but it doesn't mean it's for 407 V6 with ES9A engine. So I'm going to start by showing you guys the voltage I'm getting with the current alternator. Then when I do the replacement, I'll also show you the voltage that this particular one I've gotten is going to show. You know, when it was tested off the vehicle. In fact, before I even placed the order, I was tested. I sure it was working, but how good it is, you won't know until you mount it on the vehicle. Okay, so let's start. By the way, I may not be able to show everything on the video, you know, because it's going to take a while. So what I'm doing is I'll be cutting and joining and pointing out things you lose to be able to remove this or do this. So alright, show you guys how it's done. So okay, the engine is running now. So, and I've also switched on the AC. So as you can see, the fan is starting. Okay, so I'm going to test the voltage on the battery to know how good the alternator, the old one on the engine is working, the one I'm going to remove. Okay, so switching on the alternator now, the multimeter. Okay, okay. So I can see 13.7. So even though it's charging, it's supposed to be 14, above 14 volts, 14.20, 14.30, even with the AC running. Or at least it shouldn't be less than 14 volts. So as it is now, it's charging. What I've observed is after a while it starts dropping to up to 13.20, 13.10, or even 12 points. So it all depends. So it's not reliable to hold on to this. Sometimes you drive it, it won't drain the battery, sometimes it will drain the battery. So I decided to change it a bit. Hopefully the one I thought will be able to charge at least maintain 14 volts. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so the first thing you do is before you start the work is disconnect the battery terminals. One is enough, but personally I prefer just the two. Disconnect the two terminals, and and then you need to remove this. So you're seeing this is the power steering pump pulley. But before you do that, what I did was I just used because it has a 10 bolts, 4 of them on the pulley, holding the pulley to the pump. So you just use I prefer this type. It's much easier to do 10 spanner with that's the ring. So just lock it for now, and I actually did it with the belt still attached. So if you leave the belt attached, you don't even need to put anything here to hold it while slacking it. So all you need to do, leave the belt, do the slacking, later you can remove the belt. Because I'm also going to jack the vehicle on this side. That's the right side, but that's where the work will be done. Okay, let's see how it goes. I'll be pointing out when you get to a party stage. I'll do another video, point it out, show you guys, and continue. So I've jacked the vehicle, and so I've not removed the belt yet, but that will be the first thing I'll do. I'll remove both the belts. That's the auxiliary belt, both the auxiliary belt and the pump or pulley. That's what's it called? The power steering pump pulley. Okay, so this is the under the engine. So what I'll do is once I remove the belt. So once I remove this alternator auxiliary belt, I will remove the AC compressor. Now some people would rather remove the radiator and do it from the hub. I prefer to do it here because to remove the radiator you have to lose coolant, start messing with, I really don't want to go that route. So I will rather do it under here. So I will remove the AC compressor without removing the AC compressor pressure pipes, so I won't lose the gas. So I'll just lose here, and I have two options to removing the compressor. I can lose it from here, 1, 2, and there's another one up there. Or I could just lose this one and lose this without removing this, or I could just lose this. So it all depends. Then here and here as well, there are additional two more bolts here. So once you do that, you disconnect this here, disconnect this, and that's all. You drop the compressor so you can now access the alternator and start loosening it. Okay, so let me get to work. So as you can see, the pulley is out, the power steering pump pulley, and the belt is out. Okay, so let's go under to show you. So okay, so this is the compressor. I've loosened it and pulled it down. Still left it hanging. However, while I was losing it, I now realized this pressure hose and of the AC, this one bolted on the compressor, was swollen. So I think it has been leaking gas all this while, and actually I felt the cooling has reduced. Maybe not, but yeah, I think it has reduced a little. So from here I could see it was swollen here, and so as I was loosening it, even before I put down the compressor, I started hearing the hissing sound, showing gas was leaking from here. So probably by the time I finish all this, all the gas will leak out, because as I was moving it, the more I move it, the more the leak increases. So, but it still have some gas there anyway. Anyway, I'll deal with it when I'm done with this. Okay, so I've also removed the alternator, the old one. So let me show you. Right, so this is the two alternators. Of course, this is the one that I bought to swap in. This old one, from what I could see here, is not even the alternator for this ES9A. They've changed it before and put something else with lower arms. In fact, they did some construction on it. You can even see the wire they introduced so that I can work with this particular factory one. Well, I believe it's a Peugeot alternator, but definitely not for ES9A. From the look of things, it's also not for ES9J4S. I don't know which alternator car is meant for. So anyway, so I'll start to mount this one, and probably will start the car without AC. Well, if it works, that's fine, but just to confirm the voltage. But as long as I get 14 volts with or without AC, I'm okay. Alright, so we'll see. So mounted the newly purchased alternator meant for the engine, and also mounted the AC compressor back. I've also put the auxiliary belts. You can see the number. Vehicle 6PK1590. So let me show you guys. Okay. So yeah, this is the compressor. Yeah, this is the alternator. Okay, so what I need to do now is to connect the battery and then see what happens. First, okay, let me start with the positive terminal. So let's see if there will be any bush spark. You see, no spark. So which means the alternator, none of the positive cable of the car is touching the negative. So there's no breach. So this is a very important method, of finding out if there's any issue with a wiring connection after you've did the electrical work. While you are connecting back the battery terminal, just gradually touch it. Don't push it in fully, so that if there is a breeze somewhere, it will produce a very huge spark. So you can disconnect and then trace to go back to all the wiring connections, all the places that you touched, to see if there's something touching something that shouldn't be. Okay, so let's start the car and see. The car is very dirty. I will actually park the car for a long time. Okay. Let's see. Okay. No battery warning. Alright, so let's go and check the of course the compressor will not be able to work because the gas has leaked out completely. Okay, so let's find out if the work I did was successful. So wow. So you can see it now. 14.39. So of course you see the difference. The other one was showing 13 point something, even with or without AC. Let me try that. I know the AC will not work. I know there was no gas. There's no gas. Oh, it came up. I know there won't be any cooling because maybe my food a little AC. Okay, the compressor is spinning. Okay, so you can see 14.25 with the AC and the headlight is on as well. So you can see. So this is how it's supposed to be. Okay. So let me just switch up because I don't want compressor to fly up completely. Obviously it's not doing very well. So see? 14.6. Yeah, that's successfully done and I'm so glad. That's it. So later I'll go and change this hose. Let me see. So this is the hose I'll have to change. This here is completely, you can see the difference from the other line. Okay? So I'll swallow up and I'll just change it. Finish the gas and that's it. That's all. Well, so excited. So now if you want to change your alternator, at least you know what to look for and method I use. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to show you guys all the steps I took in removing and mounting back the old and the newly purchased alternator. You know, I mean, it took how many hours? I don't know, but I know I'm talking about 4 to 5 hours job. You know, it's not a simple task on this PS9A engine. You know, so there's no how I will do this video. Maybe it was easier for me to just do it without the camera running all the time. You know, so at least I pointed out how I did mine without removing the radiator, which most people prefer to remove the radiator. You know, and most I even remove the power steering pump. To me, I don't want to go that one. So, well, to say maybe if I'm not gone to that compressor side, maybe the AC probably would have leaked out completely. But for me, I mean, you can see it was already swollen up. So it's just a question of time. And the gas will eventually go all of them will go out from that particular spot. So it was an opportunity to see that problem and which I will fix hopefully in a day or two. I don't take it to AC technician, they will replace it, put another gas, that's all. Okay, so that's all about changing alternator on a Peugeot 407 V6 petrol, which is the ES9A. Alright, so I hope you learned a good way of changing alternator of different, and also always have your multimeter. You can see it was very a tool. How do I put it? The tool, it was actually helpful in be able to diagnose the old alternator. And now you can see, yes, there's a huge difference. Of course, this is the old alternator still here. doesn't mean the alternator is bad or dead. Just that it's not for this engine or the vehicle. So it probably will work well on another 47 because that needs lesser alternator amp. But for this one, you need at least 150 amps. So, okay, I'm signing up.